Foreign Minister Araghchi of Iran said America started the war in search of unconditional surrender. Trump has declared victory 10 times now. And now it's begging other countries to open the Strait of Hormuz, all of whom have said, we're not going to be a part of that. That sums up the situation, I think, pretty well right now. Trump gave a press conference today, and he was sewing out the entire time about how, you know, the UK, France, no one, South Korea, Japan, they're not coming to help him open the Strait of Hormuz. Why? Why could they? Why? Well, maybe they're not helping him with the Strait of Hormuz for the same reason that there is no U.S. aircraft carrier within like 700 miles of the Strait of Hormuz, because they understand they are going to get hit and they will sink, and they don't want that. After starting this war, disrupting global oil, Trump is now saying that he shouldn't do it and other countries should go fight for the Strait of Hormuz for him. Take a listen.
It's come in and protect their own territory because it's a place which they get their energy, and they should come and they should help us protect. Maybe we shouldn't even be there.
Maybe a little bit tough to hear. I don't know how that was, but he said, you know, these other countries should come in and open the Strait of Hormuz, not us. Maybe we shouldn't even be there at all. The truth of the matter is we are not there. We are nowhere near close to the Strait of Hormuz. If we were close to the Strait of Hormuz, our ships would be bombed and they would be sunk to the bottom of the Strait of Hormuz. So, no, we're not there, and no one else is going to be there. You know, the only people who are going to be there are the friends of Iran. And they're going to follow a very, very careful path that the Iranians lay out for them, because that's the only people that are going to be crossing the Strait of Hormuz, or people who make deals that are acceptable to the Iranians. Like, I believe India is making a deal where they're going to give Iran 3 of the seized Iranian cargo ships back to Iran, and Iran will allow 2 Indian vessels to cross the Strait of Hormuz. There was talk of this idea that vessels will be allowed to cross the Strait of Hormuz under certain circumstances, certain countries, if the oil being sold is bought for with Chinese yuan instead of the petrodollar. So all of these things are very interesting, not going to lie. But I love how they're trying to explain this all away, right? They're trying to explain why gas prices are up 25%, why we know that oil prices are probably going to get all the way up to $200 a barrel. Listen to this. This is Chris Wright. He's the energy secretary under the Trump administration. Real genius here.
The price of a barrel of oil closed above $103 on Friday, and the Iranians are warning of prices hitting $200 a barrel. Mr. Secretary, should Americans be bracing for, should they be worried that this war will actually drive the price of oil above $200 a barrel?
So Iran for 47 years has called the United States the Great Satan. So because they call us the Great Satan, I don't think we are the Great Satan. In fact, clearly we're not. So I don't listen much to.
Sir, Americans are struggling to survive and like put gas in their car to get to work. Iran calls us the Great Satan, and I say that because they said it, then we're not.
To Iranian.
What is this? This is like a. It's like when you see those like terrible AI, like they'll put like some AI movie on Twitter. They'll post like the first 5-minute movie made with AI, and it's like all the script writing is just the worst garbage you could ever imagine. This is that. If you said make an AI script of the energy secretary responding to the news reporter about why the Strait of Hormuz is closed and why the U.S. did all this, this would be it.
Projections of what's going to happen.
So that's a no?
Disruptions of flow, no? Very important waterway. I would pay no attention to what Iran says, but there is a lot of energy that flows through the Straits of Hormuz, and depending upon the timing and the manner in which this conflict comes to an end, we're going to see some elevated pricing until we get there. Where it's going to go, we have done many actions to mitigate.
You know why the American people literally do not give a fuck about this? Because he said, the Iranians call the United States the Great Satan. Yeah, buddy, they're talking about you, not about Joe Schmo living in Central Ohio who's trying to drive his sickly grandmother to the hospital to get like some sort of like a treatment for some aging illness she has. This is crazy. Yeah. Americans, you need to not care about the 24% increase in fuel prices because Iran said that we're the Great Satan. Yeah, you are the Great Satan. You're the Epstein regime. The American people think that as well. Yeah, they call you the Epstein class, the Epstein regime. There's a reason why they feel the same way. They probably hear the Iranians say that and they're like, oh, it's another interesting phrase we can add to the lexicon. President Trump plans to announce a coalition to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Wall Street Journal reports. Yeah, that's a lie. I watched the statement from Trump at the press conference today. He kept saying like, oh, we have a list of countries that have already agreed to go and try to open the Strait of Hormuz. But, I can't list them. I can't tell you them because, of course, like they might be. They may be targeted if they go do that, if we know that they're going to do it. So like, yeah, I'm not going to name them, but we totally have a list of countries. And then he proceeds to list every single country that he asked to go and open the Strait of Hormuz. And he condemned all of them for refusing to participate. So who are we getting to free the Strait of Hormuz? Is the Blue Water Navy of Papua New Guinea gonna come and open the Strait of Hormuz? Is who? Tell me. Is the Blue Water Navy of Belize, of the Democratic Republic of Congo, are they gonna come and open the Strait of Hormuz? Who's it gonna be? Surely it'll be Taiwan. It must be Taiwan who's gonna come and open the Strait of Hormuz. We've given them enough in military aid by now. They should. Yeah, this is him soaring out over it.
Be used very long. Numerous countries have told me they're on the way. Some are very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them from horrible outside sources, and they weren't that enthusiastic. And the level of enthusiasm matters to me. We have some countries where we have 45,000 soldiers, great soldiers, protecting them from harm's way.
Yeah, so there are no countries that are going to come open the Strait of Hormuz. Trump knows that. And he knows, all these, he's like trying to pull a fast one on these governments, be like, hey, we're helping you out a lot. We're sending you a lot of military aid. So instead of our troops dying, more of them dying, more of our, Navy personnel dying, why don't you send your warships and you go to the Strait of Hormuz? How about that? Well, we do have the responses from the countries that Trump asked. He asked Germany to go and open the Strait of Hormuz militarily. Germany said, what does Trump expect from a handful of European frigates that the powerful U.S. Navy can't do? This is not our war, and we didn't start it. Australia said, we will not be sending a ship to the Strait of Hormuz. They also added, we have not been asked to send a ship to the Strait of Hormuz, but we want to clarify, we will not be doing it. The UK said, reopening the Strait of Hormuz is not a simple task. The UK will not be drawn into a wider war. France said, there is no question of sending any vessels to the Strait of Hormuz. Japan said, circumstances do not warrant military participation from Japan. South Korea said, yeah, Trump, we're closely monitoring your remarks. And China, can't believe he asked China to open the Strait of Hormuz, but yeah, China, no comment. To be expected, no comment. That was the other funniest moment of this entire conflict. Foreign Minister Araghchi of Iran said America started the war in search of unconditional surrender. Trump has declared victory 10 times now. And now it's begging other countries to open the Strait of Hormuz, all of whom have said, we're not going to be a part of that. That sums up the situation, I think, pretty well right now. Iran, however, did allow the first vessel to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. I guess the first vessel to pass through unimpeded since the war began, but the first vessel to even attempt to pass through in the past 24 hours was a Pakistani oil tanker with the name Karachi. And that's where we saw a lot of these big protests against the U.S. Embassy in Karachi. The assassination of Khamenei drew massive protests in Karachi, and a lot of Pakistanis were murdered in the process. So Iran allowed a Pakistani oil tanker to cross through the Strait of Hormuz today. They are brothers. They have very good relations. Before this oil tanker made its passage through, Foreign Minister Araghchi, I saw he had a call with the Pakistani foreign minister, and they publicized the contents of that call in part, but I'm sure they also addressed this matter as well. As you all know, Mohammed al-Bukaidi, the spokesperson, one of the spokespeople of Ansar Allah, senior official, and Ansar Allah, pictured here, said that Yemen will stand militarily with Iran and will announce hour zero at the appropriate time. They also just dropped a banger video on their Telegram, highlighting maybe what is to come in the very near future for the Bab el-Mandeb Strait into the Red Sea. And last but not least for this story, Trump claims the U.S. could open the Strait of Hormuz, but no shipping companies want to sail through. Iran may have set mines in the strait. We don't know. It's a little unfair. We won the war. They have no right to be doing what they're doing. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, the longer this goes on, the more insane everything is going to get. And the Strait of Hormuz is the largest pressure point that Iran has on not just the U.S., but the entire world. And that is why you're seeing so much chaos from Trump around this very issue. And again, as oil prices continue to go up, as people see that, like, no, the Strait of Hormuz is not going to open, the U.S. can't do anything about it, coalition can't do anything about it, and no one even wants to be a part of a coalition, the prices are going to rise dramatically. And that may just be what brings an end to the war. We'll see. Apparently, Witkoff already wants an end to the war. He's been texting Araghchi, the foreign minister of Iran, but he's got no response. Left on red time and time again. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.